Hello everyone, this is Razvan, the author of the Penmania blog. Today I would like to present you yet another fountain pen that I've added to my personal collection. Right now I'm testing it out. So this is the KAWECO Elite fountain pen. It's one of the largest fountain pen models that KAWECO currently is producing, and I've taken this fountain pen at the suggestion of one of my viewers that saw the KAWECO Dia2 fountain pen. So let's see how this fountain pen is actually. So first thing in the design of the fountain pen is the metal cap. As you can see, we have a chromed metal cap which has the usual finial, but this time not in metal but in black acrylic, with the KAWECO logo. We have the vintage classic shape clip. It's identical to the one on the KAWECO Dia2. I will show you in a moment a comparison. This is a stiff clip, but you know, it is functioning well. Quite suitable for a for a jacket, for a suit jacket, for a shirt. So yeah, we have here the name of the fountain pen, KAWECO Elite, and the origin of manufacturing, Germany in this case. And then we have a black body. This is a black solid acrylic block which is very nice polished and has an interesting design. As you can see, this is a faceted design. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, so hexagon, barrel shape, and then the end is cylindrical, as you can see. And we have again the KAWECO logo and the finial, same finial, and also we have here same types of grooves that KAWECO implemented in the Dia2 design. Sorry. Okay, this is a screw-on cap, and it is 1 turn, actually half a turn, I would say. It's half a turn. Let's try this again. No, it's 1 turn. But anyway, this is very fast. So we don't have 2 turns, 3 turns like other fountain pens. We have 1 turn, very easy to unpost, to take out the cap. And this is the section. And one of the big changes or differences versus the Dia2 model is this number 6 steel nib. So we have a number 6 steel nib. It's the same bock nib as with the other smaller nib that KAWECO is using on Dia2. We have the standard book feed, which is functioning quite well. I also like the design of it. We have the section, an hourglass type of section, very comfortable to hold. It's long enough, 2 centimeters. We have then the the barrel, and a small step up between the section and the barrel, and the threads, of course, of the cap. The threads of the cap are not sharp, they are very well done. They are also part of the acrylic material of the barrel, and you can use the pen even on the threads without any issues, because it is long enough to be used like that. And also, again, this step up is not big, so yeah, you can hold it like that with no discomfort, at least from my perspective. As with all KAWECO pens, the nib unit can be unscrewed from the section. This allows for multiple nib sizes to be used. I have right now a medium installed on the Elite. I also have a fine nib. I will gonna show how those we're gonna write in the writing sample. The pen came with no converter. Here is the section thread on which the barrel screws on. It is well to say, unfortunately I cannot show you right now in this video, but with a powerful light I could see that there is an internal metal structure in the barrel, most likely to reinforce the barrel internally, although it's still not a heavy barrel by no means. So the fountain pen didn't come with a converter. I tried to use the Schmidt converter. That converter didn't fit in because of this part and because of the barrel. So this is a converter that I have on a Warncher crystal fountain pen in my personal collection, and this converter worked just fine. The metal cap has also an internal plastic lining and of course protection against ink starvation. It works fine. It's also heavy. I will give you the exact weight in a moment. I would say around 16 grams at least. This is the cap. It can be posted because of this particular shape of the barrel, and can be posted securely, as you can see. The cap will hold. But the issue is that the fountain pen will become back heavy because of the cap. And this is expected because this is mostly a metal cap. So for quick notes, the fountain pen can be used like that with the cap posted, but for long writing sessions, to be honest, I don't recommend it in any way. I mean, it is something that depends on each of us, on the type of hand you have, etc. But for me, this is too back heavy, and yeah, it becomes uncomfortable after several pages. Okay, so let me show you comparison to a KAWECO DR2. The surprising fact is that there is not a lot of a difference in terms of size and even diameter, as you can see. Yes, the barrel of the Elite is a little bit bulkier, let's say like that. But in terms of length, it's not a huge difference in any way. Even when it comes to the section of the fountain pen, hopefully you can see. Yes, it is longer. The section of the Elite is longer than the one of the Dia2, but the shape is pretty much the same. The design, you know, the two metal rings, and of course the big difference is the nib. Now, let's say that from my perspective, I'm not very impressed with this fountain pen, with the Elite, and I will tell you why. Again, this is my perspective. I think that the Elite is a tough sale when compared to the Dia2, and I will explain in a moment. First thing, the nibs are not spectacular in any way. Okay, these are steel nibs, but if I compare this steel nib in a medium with a Jovo nib, the Jovo nib will win anyway. So this is the usual problem with the nib quality of consistency of the nib quality coming out from the Bock, the producer, the German producer that is doing these nibs for KAWECO. My expectation for the largest fountain pen and one of the most expensive fountain pens of KAWECO was that the steel nib would write flawlessly. It is not a scratchy nib, but it is not also a smooth nib in any way. So there is feedback. Sometimes, especially in cursive mode, I feel that, you know, I'm dragging actually the nib on the paper, and this is valid for the medium nib, for the fine nib. I even have some skipping sometimes, so it's not a good experience for me. I didn't have this type of experience with the Dia2, especially with the fine nib that I have right now on this one. It writes just fine. So that's one thing, and an important thing in the end. Then there is this cap. Okay, I understand from a design perspective, it looks cool to have it in metal. You know, it's chromed. It is, of course, a collector of fingerprints, as with all chromed metal caps like this. But it is too heavy. So if you like to post your pen, this will be too back heavy from my perspective. Usually I'm not using you know, my fountain pens with the cap on, so for me it's not really an issue. But if you are using, you know, your fountain pens with the cap on, then this can be an issue. I just wanted to mention. The third point is the lack of a converter. So, and this is valid for the Dia2 as well. So this one, the Dia2, is around $85 in my country, and this one is 125 US dollars, the equivalent of US dollars. So there is a $40 difference between these two, and none of these fountain pens comes with a converter. This is, I know, this is the policy of KAWECO, etc. You can buy a separate converter, but then again, you have in this price range other fountain pens, I may say with better fountain nibs, with better nibs, that have a converter. So not sure, especially for, okay, let's say Dia2, it's not the, you know, the largest fountain pen in KAWECO offering, etc., etc. But what about the Elite? You know, include a short cartridge with the pen. but also an ink converter. You know, they should really encourage people to use converter and bottle of nibs. So again, there is a $40 difference between the Elite and the A2, and from my perspective it is not justified by anything in the end. I think the A2 it's even more robust and, you know, resistant for daily usage versus the Elite. This acrylic barrel will get scratched quite easily, I would say, in the end. Yes, it is polished, but it is not protected by anything. Here we have black lacquer. This is protective. It's something else. But this one, in my opinion, even if you keep it in a pen sleeve, if you use it on a daily basis, it will get scratched, no matter what. So, $40 difference. If you hate the small nib of the DA2, so if you want a normal regular number 6 nib and you like the hexagonal design and you are okay with the cap, then by all means, you know, you can go for the Elite fountain pen. Of course, the nib can be changed. I don't say that you can find a KAWECO nib, number 6 nib, that will work like a charm. You know, my viewer that commented about the Elite model, she was very satisfied with the extra fine she had. So she most likely she found a good nib. But again, you may find that not all the nibs write okay. Not stellar, not a stellar experience, but okay. So I'm not pleased with the way this nib is writing or the fine nib is writing. I can change this nib with a Jovo nib. Yeah, I can take out the nib unit and just replace it, but it defeats the purpose. This is the way the fountain pen comes in standard. So I think it's an interesting design, but I think from my perspective, again, this is my perspective, the Elite is not justifying the price difference between the two models. So I will stick with DA2. I think it has an excellent price-performance ratio, even with that smaller nib. If you install a gold nib on it, then it becomes a totally different fountain pen in the end. So it's quite an excellent investment, and you know, you can take the $40 difference versus the two and just take a gold nib. The Elite also, and it is worth mentioning that the Elite also allows for the installation of a gold nib as well. So KAWECO offers, from what I understood, the number 6 gold nib as well. So this is my overall review of the KAWECO Elite fountain pen. I hope you'll find it useful and you'll be able to decide on your own. The writing sample will be on a separate video as usual. Yeah, take care and we keep in touch. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.